In 1996, two researchers studied 1,000 American millionaires expecting to find Rolexes and Ferraris. Instead, they found men buying suits for $99 and driving trucks bought used in cash. The poorest-looking people in the room turned out to own most of the room. That single discovery broke everything we assume about money, and it's about to break it for you, too. Here's a question nobody asks enough. If you passed a real millionaire on the street, would you even notice them? Probably not. And that's not an accident. That's the entire point. We've been trained by movies, ads, and social media to believe wealth looks like something. Watches, sports cars, designer bags. So we chase the look, assuming the money will eventually catch up. But here's the strange part. The research says the opposite is usually true. In their landmark study, The Millionaire Next Door, researchers Thomas Stanley and William Danko tracked how actual American millionaires live. What they found broke the internet's entire idea of wealth. Most of them didn't live in wealthy neighborhoods. Most drove ordinary cars. Many had never bought a new vehicle in their life. Stanley coined a term for the two types of people they kept running into: under-accumulators of wealth, high earners who look rich but have almost nothing saved, and prodigious accumulators of wealth. People who often look completely ordinary but quietly hold serious money. Same income. Two completely different outcomes. The only real difference? What they chose to look like. So why does looking poor, or let's say modest, actually protect wealth instead of hiding shame? This is where the psychology gets interesting. There's a concept in behavioral economics called loss aversion. Our brains feel the pain of losing money almost twice as intensely as the pleasure of gaining it, which means once people build wealth, the brain becomes obsessed with protecting it. And the number one threat to protecting money isn't the stock market, it's other people. Family asking for loans, friends expecting you to cover dinner, distant relatives suddenly showing up with a business opportunity. Visibility invites requests, and requests drain accounts faster than almost any bad investment ever could. But there's a bigger villain here, and it's the one nobody wants to name. It's the comparison game. Social media didn't invent envy, but it industrialized it. Every scroll shows you someone's vacation, someone's kitchen renovation, someone's new car, carefully filtered, and almost never showing the debt behind it. Researchers have a name for the resulting spending pattern: lifestyle inflation, where expenses quietly rise to match income the moment income rises, leaving savings exactly where they started, no matter how much someone earns. The comparison game doesn't care if you win. It just needs you to keep playing. And the entry fee is your bank account. Here's the shocking part. Even people who win the comparison game rarely feel rich. There's a term for that too. Hedonic Adaptation, the psychological tendency for excitement over a new purchase to fade almost completely within weeks, quietly demanding the next purchase just to feel normal again. That new car feeling? Gone in about a month, but the payments stay for 6 years. This is the trap. Spend to feel successful. Feeling fades fast. Spend again. It's a treadmill, not a staircase. And the people who step off it are the ones who stop performing wealth in public, the so-called invisible rich. Let's talk about what that actually looks like in real life, because it's not about being cheap. It's about redirecting attention. Picture two neighbors, both earning the same salary. One buys a new SUV, upgrades the kitchen, books a flashy vacation every year, funded mostly through financing. The other drives a paid-off used car, wears plain clothes, and never mentions money. Nobody at the block party thinks the second neighbor is doing well, but 20 years later, one of them retires with options. The other is still making payments on things that were replaced years ago. That's not a fictional story. That pattern is exactly what Stanley and Danko documented across 1,000 real households. The invisible one wasn't hiding poverty. He was hiding leverage. So let's break down why invisibility actually works, mechanically. Lesson 1. Low visibility equals low expectation. People don't ask the modest-looking neighbor for loans. They don't assume he'll cover the bill. Staying visually ordinary quietly removes financial pressure other people don't even realize they're placing on you. Lesson 2. Invisibility short-circuits lifestyle inflation. If nobody's watching, there's nothing to prove. And the moment you're not spending to prove anything, a huge chunk of your budget simply frees itself up without a single willpower struggle. Lesson 3. Quiet money compounds louder than loud money. Every dollar spent chasing an image is a dollar pulled out of the one thing that actually builds wealth over time: compounding. It doesn't care how you look. It only cares how long you leave it alone. Very few people understand this next part, and it's the real twist behind everything we've covered. The goal was never to look poor. Looking poor is just the side effect of doing something much more powerful, refusing to let other people's eyes decide how you spend your own money. So, here's your practical takeaway, and it's one question, not a spreadsheet. Before your next purchase, ask, would I still buy this if literally nobody would ever see it? If the answer is no, that purchase isn't about the item. It's about the audience. And audiences don't build wealth. They spend it. Let your lifestyle stay one full step behind your income, not one step ahead chasing it. That single habit is the actual thread connecting almost every quiet millionaire ever studied. Because here's the twist nobody tells you at the start of a video like this. The goal was never to look poor. The goal was to become financially impossible to shake. The kind of stable that doesn't care who's watching. And the wealthiest person in any room is usually the one everybody forgot to notice. If you found this useful, subscribe to the Money Mind Hub. Because understanding money isn't just about earning more, it's about thinking differently.